just kind of won? Yeah. Did you mean to make that sound? No. What? They won. Let's go! Ladies and gentlemen, it's a little ridiculous. Good boy. Play all the hits. Left Toronto Maple Leafs. Let me finish. How am I supposed to go to bed after watching that? I'm quite hyped. With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR.
Victory, puppies, buddy! They did it! They held the lead! They actually held it!
You like his new haircut? They like your new haircut. Hey, Leafs win 3-1 in a game that stayed 3-1 over the New York Islanders. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff to talk about from the Leafs' perspective, but from the Islanders' perspective, an emotional game. You may have seen in the news, Islanders legend and four-time Stanley Cup champion Clark Gillies passed away this week. Former Islanders captain John Tavares knew Mr. Gillies and had this to say about him. And it was before he took any post-game questions. He paid respect to Clark Gillies and said, "I'm very sad to hear of his passing. He was tremendous to me in my time here and obviously made a hell of an impact on the ice and off it." And there was also this from Justin Bourne. "Just want to say thanks to everyone for the tremendous outpouring of love and support. Clark was a giant of a man, an inspiration, so loving and loved. I know this leaves a hole in the heart of many Long Islanders. If you'd like to donate to his charity," and then he puts the link to clarkgillies.org/donations. A little about that organization. The Clark Gillies Foundation is a non-profit corporation developed to help children who are physically, mentally, or financially challenged. Our goal is to help children improve the quality of life for them and their family during difficult circumstances. Once again, clarkgillies.org/donations, and we'll put a link in the description down below. So, for tonight's festivities, I think you know the story coming into this game. The story spans 2 weeks, which is as long as this road trip has been because of all the postponed home games and everything. The Leafs go to Colorado, first game out of the break. Not fun. Not a fun first game out of the break, but they go up 4-1 and blow the entire thing and end up losing in overtime. And then they take on Vegas and they go up 3-1 and blow it and end up beating Vegas in the shootout. Then they lose to Arizona. We're going to mumble our way through that. And then they take on the St. Louis Blues last Saturday. 3-1 lead. Blow it. End up winning. Then against the New York Rangers, last game, 3-1 lead. Give up 5 consecutive goals. Lose 6-3. Sheldon Keefe was none too pleased after that 6-3 loss at the hands of the New York Rangers, calling the team soft and purposeless. Everyone focused on soft because people often call the Leafs soft. Oh, they don't have enough of this, enough of that. Purposeless is a really low-key awful thing to be. No, really, like think about if someone called you that. How would you react if someone called you soft? Might hurt your feelings a little bit. I think you'd probably get mad, right? No, I'm not. What about purposeless? Purposeless isn't rage. That's not, no, I'm not. That's, am I? Purposeless is folding your hands on your chest and staring at the ceiling till 3 a.m. Purposeless is wondering what you're doing with your life and missing your exit on the highway. Purposeless is what are you even doing here? What am I even doing here? To be soft feels like the sort of thing you can fix with an attitude adjustment. One shift you could be soft and the next not so much. But purposeless sounds like a bigger problem. So then they head into this game against the New York Islanders, and I thought what a lot of Leaf fans probably thought, all right, this is either going to be a nightmare or just what the doctor ordered. Because I think with the Leafs and Leafs fans, we look at the Leafs heading into Long Island, and ever since John Tavares and the Leafs played their first awful, very awful game there, we're sort of like, uh-oh, this is going to be bad. By the way, I think I've said this before, but it bears repeating. Underratedly awful Mike Babcock decision. We focus on putting in Nick Shore instead of Jason Spezza in the home opener the year that Spezza signed there. But how about starting Garrett Sparks in Tavares' return to Long Island? I know you can't be planning starts for the backup and stuff like that based on that, but yeah, you can. Like, come on, man. Get a little bit of a clue. Anyway, but ever since a couple butt kickings at the hands of the Islanders a little after Tavares signed here, the Leafs have kind of owned them. If I remember the stat from the broadcast correctly, the Leafs had shut out the Islanders in their last 2 meetings against each other, and if I'm not mistaken, those shutouts came at the hands of Michael Hutchinson and Joseph Woll. The Islanders, compared to their usual standards, have been abysmal this season, but They've been red hot as of late. But man, whatever problem Babcock's Leafs had against these Islanders, Sheldon Keefe's Leafs have not. For a team known to have wonky defense and a wonky relationship with multi-goal leads, the Leafs lock this team up. But heading in, they'd also blown 3-1 leads in 4 of their last 5 games, so we'll see who breaks first? Well, beginning of the game, Michael Bunting is up to his penalty drawing antics, and the Leafs get 2 power plays and convert on neither of them. And the Islanders get a chance. Uh-oh. Here we go. This is how it's gonna go. The Leafs blow 2 power play opportunities. The Islanders are gonna get 1, and then it's gonna turn into 9. They're gonna throw snakes and jerseys and a drum set for some reason onto the ice. Instead, what happened like 10 seconds into the penalty kill, the Leafs score. Leafs lose the faceoff in their own zone to start the penalty kill. It's hard to describe in screenshots how clever of a read this is from Mitch Marner. Because the Islanders have the puck, Morgan Rielly clears out the attacker, and Marner is in position to take off here. I'll try to use the other one. It's hard to see with the score bug over it, but Marner is already sort of cheating towards the neutral zone here, and Rielly doesn't even have full control of the puck. If the Islanders get this back, it's going to be a problem. But Marner has full trust in Rielly, and apparently he should have, because Rielly with the nifty pass, Marner with a partial breakaway and the nifty move, and the intentional, super intentional Kucherov no move. No, he got partially intercepted by Noah Dobson, but it went in! Mitch Marner scoring on the Leafs power play and decides, I'm going to score on the other team's power play too. The Leafs score first and go up 1-0. It's good to have the lead, right? Right? Well, it was, until it wasn't. Final minute of the first period. Zach Parise, he's on the Islanders. You forgot that, but now you remember. Now, Timothy Liljegren had a tough game in his own zone against the Blues, and probably an even tougher one against the Rangers. He needed a big game in this one against the Islanders. Well, he did. He played excellently, and Sheldon Keefe was sure to praise Liljegren and Sandin after the game. This play might have been his one hiccup. Leafs in the offensive zone, Matthews bats it in front. It's dangerous for a second, but the Islanders collect it and carry it out. Well, actually, to be specific, they lob it out. In fact, they lob it right at Liljegren's feet. Did you know that hockey's a game played on ice with a puck made of rubber? Well, after the puck lands, it bounces a few times. Parise and Liljegren both go for the same puck. Parise's stick is the low one, Liljegren's the high one, and that's bad. And because of that, Parise catches Liljegren flat-footed. He goes for a backhand move on Mrazek's glove hand, which Mrazek actually made a nice save on one of the Islanders earlier in the period, doing that exact same thing, but Parise beat him. It's tied with less than a minute to go. Ugh! The Leafs always allow goals. At the worst time, they're going to go to intermission. All sad, except the world's fastest giraffe had other plans. Now, I'm going to show you a screenshot that does actually illustrate how the goal happened. Look at this here. This is Noah Dobson with the puck in the Islanders zone. He's got help with him. Mikheyev is chasing him down, and notice there is exactly 5 seconds left. There is no reason at all this puck should end up in the Islanders' net. None. There's 5 seconds left, and even if he doesn't know exactly how much time is left, he should know that there's enough time left that if I just shank the puck behind the net, nothing bad is going to happen. Mystifyingly, Dobson turns back as if to try to clear the puck from the zone instead of just wasting time. Mikheyev, who is not just fast but underratedly kind of big and strong, holds him on the boards. Engvall, who's even taller and maybe just as fast, swoops in, and you want to see something funny? That is a panic stance if I've ever... Holy smoke. That needs to be... That's got to be followed by like Bugs Bunny noises. Whoop, 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 whoop. Engvall with speed makes Andy Green bend the knee, backhand, beats Varlamov, who gets a piece of it, but it crosses the goal line with 0.3 seconds to go in the period. It counts, and the Leafs head to intermission as the team feeling good, up 2-1. Now, we fast forward to midway through the second. TJ Brodie with a chance in front. The Leafs' second line has the Islanders reeling. Brodie gets it to Kerfoot, and this play rules. Take a look at this and how quickly things change. Here's Rielly with the puck at the point. That's Kerfoot filling in as the other defenseman while Brodie gets back in position. Rielly hands it off to William Nylander before doing his best Elmer Fudd impression. Be vowy quiet. And he Elmer Fudded his way all the way to this. Look at the Islanders, man. Look at them. That is puck watching 101. Morgan Rielly with the wide open everything. I was about to say net. Wide open everything. Nylander confidently making an excellent pass through traffic. He did have a lane, but it was also sort of through traffic. But part of the reason the Islanders didn't pick the pass off is they didn't know anybody was there, clearly. Morgan Riley finishes with the one-timer, buries his 5th of the season. The Leafs are up 3-1! Oh, fun! Fun. Very fun. Multi-goal leads are good. They are. They are. Shut up. I'm sorry. Shh. You know, but I gotta say, the Leafs hold the fort for at least the rest of the second. They kill a penalty. That was good. They didn't allow another goal. And after 2 periods of play, the Leafs outshooting the Islanders 19-13. They held the Islanders to just 13 shots. Just a low event, quiet game. Good for Mrazek. Mrazek was so bored back there that there was a save he made where the Islanders literally just shot the puck into his glove and then he goes, hey! That's old school. I love when goalies throw a little mustard on it. Why not? Why not? Now this is less good. The Islanders outshot the Leafs 15-4 in the third. I gotta say though, it wasn't until the back half of the third that it really felt like it. But I do gotta say this. The Islanders notoriously have a reputation for jacking up their hit numbers. Not as in they hit a lot, as in the person keeping tally of how many hits they have gives them more hits than they probably should. In this game, the Islanders had 20 hits to the Leafs 16. That actually feels about right. It might even be generous to the Leafs because the Islanders were throwing lots of hits and they were big. But I have to declare shenanigans on the Islanders having 14 blocks and the Leafs having 9? No! It was one of the best parts of the Leafs game in this game. Especially the further it went on. There were moments in the second period and especially in the third where the Leafs were getting in the way of everything. Maybe there were more breakups with the sticks, or maybe some of the Islanders' shots were hitting teammates in front, but I thought the Leafs did an excellent job of getting in front of pucks before they even got to Peter Mrazek. I have to say, for this team, for the most part, Mrazek's night wasn't all that difficult. This has been the weird thing about playing the Islanders the last few games. Wall's night didn't seem that difficult. Hutchinson's night didn't seem that difficult from what I remember. It was a while ago. What the heck happened? Like, I have said this, and I say this with no reservation. The Islanders, there is a legitimate argument that the past 2 seasons, they're the second best team in hockey. Tampa's clearly the best. They won back-to-back cups. The Islanders went to the third round against Tampa twice in a row, took them to 6 the first time, and 7 the second. Would the Bubble Islanders have beaten the Bubble Stars? Maybe. Would the Islanders of last year have beaten the Habs? I'm gonna go with probably. Dude, really good team. Unless they're trying to score against the Sheldon Keefe Leafs, which is a... What? I swear the Leafs struggle so hard with defense unless the team they're playing against wears blue and orange. Dude, the Oilers over the past few years, they've done a really good job, basically ever since McDavid scored that ridiculous goal on Riley. And the Islanders, it doesn't make any sense to me. I don't care. Win's a win. It's nice. Questions. Yes, which EIHL team do your Scottish in-laws support? The Glasgow Clan, the Fife Flyers, or Dundee Stars? So the EIHL is the hockey league that they have in Britain. And I hate to say it, I don't think my in-laws support any EIHL team, but if they had to, it would be the team closest to Stand Free, wherever you may be. We are the famous Aberdeen. We don't give a, I don't want to get demonetized, wherever you may be. We are the famous Aberdeen. So their team would probably be the Dundee Stars, the mighty Dundee. Is this how it feels to cheer for a normal hockey team? I mean, probably, but with all due respect, do you think I would know? Do you think the Leafs can actually beat any other top 8 East team right now over 7 games? East is stacked. Maybe Washington? Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't realize how ridiculous it is in the East until I took a look at the standings tonight. So right now, the Leafs, in terms of point percentage, are, I think, 5th in the NHL and 3rd in the Atlantic Division. It's so not fair. But here's your options. The Panthers, the Lightning, the Bruins are not far behind at all. If the Leafs were to slip into a wild card spot, you're looking at the Rangers, you're looking at the Penguins, you're looking at the Hurricanes, and possibly the Capitals, who are not far behind. I think the Leafs can beat any of those teams. Any of them. Can beat. Can. Should beat? Well, Here's the thing. Stop looking for an easy route through the playoffs. There isn't one. Last year we thought there was one. Didn't we, class? We all thought they had an easy path. No! We quickly found out no. As someone who has been obsessing over the process and wanting the Leafs to play a better playoff style now so that it's part of their nature by the time they actually get to the playoffs, I will say, dude, it's January 22nd. Let's not worry about playoff opponents for a while, eh? But yeah, they need another defenseman. Anyway, what a win. What a great win. And now the Leafs get a little bit of time off. They're going to get to play at home. Finally, a little bit of home cooking. And we'll see if they can get cooking. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Once again, link to Clark Gillies charity down below.